Hello and welcome to my review of The Muppets, starring Jason Segel, Amy Adams, Chris Cooper, and Kermit the Frog. Hey everybody, you missed me? No you didn't. But that's beside the point. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving, but now it's time to talk about some Muppets. This movie centers on two ecstatic Muppet fans, Jason Segel's Gary and Walter, who is a puppet, even though they're brothers and I don't know. But anyways, they go on a trip to Los Angeles with Gary's girlfriend, Amy Adams, to go see the old Muppet Studios when they find that the place is just in ruin and being torn down, because an oil tycoon played by Chris Cooper plans to tear it down and create an oil refinery over it or something to that effect. So they go out and find the old Muppet crew, which includes Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and all the other fantastic classic Muppets, and go on a quest to save the theater and put on one last show. For those of you who watched my most anticipated movies of 2011 video, you'll know that this was my #1 movie of the year. This was it. I was a huge Muppet fan when I was a little kid, and if there's anyone who's going to go in and love this movie, it would be me, and if there were anybody who would go in and be horribly disappointed by this movie, it'd be me. But fortunately, this movie is absolutely the former. This movie is everything I wanted it to be, plus a whole lot more. Let's start out with what of course makes this movie so good, and that is just the Muppet characters themselves. Every single one of them are just beautiful creations, pure classic puppets, and the thing that was always so impressive in these movies is just the personalities that are brought out in these fluffy figures. They're just such unique characters, and they're so dynamic, and the way they move and interact with each other is just crazy, and the thing is, they make you care about these characters in this movie. You get really emotionally invested in these stories, especially with Kermit. Kermit has one song in this movie that is actually pretty heartbreaking and reminds you that the good times are actually gone. And I also gotta give props to my man Jason Segel, who made this whole thing happen, and he just looks like he's having the time of his life doing this movie. I've never seen an actor just have such an infectious sense of fun when he's doing this performance. I mean, he is ecstatic to be with his childhood heroes, and that completely rubs off on you. And even though his character is a little underdeveloped, you really do like him. And the same thing goes for Walter and Amy Adams. They're not the best characters, but they're likable just because they're having so much fun. And Walter is a decent new character, even though he does get a little annoying. But don't worry, this movie is far from depressing. This is one of the most heartwarming and funny movies of the year. This movie has a very Edgar Wright style of humor, the guy who directed Hot Fuzz and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And what I mean by that is that it's constantly referencing itself, constantly making fun of itself, and the pace is very joke, fast, fast, fast. If you blink and you miss like 5 jokes, and I love that. This movie is so funny, beginning to end, from everything from breaking the fourth wall, self-referential type stuff, to just genuine character moments that are hilarious. It's just wonderful humor in this movie. Also, the musical numbers in this movie are so catchy, especially the beginning one, which is Life is a Happy Song. I have to say it, I've been listening to that song since I saw this movie infectiously, over and over and over again, just because it's insanely catchy. And that goes for the rest of the musical numbers. They're just so quick and so catchy and full of great sight gags. The only problems I have with this movie are just the tiniest, teeniest little things. Like I said before, the character of Walter with his whole obnoxious happiness gets a little annoying. The cameos from the celebrities could have been a little better and could have utilized them more. Just little nitpicks like that. But overall, this movie really, truly is the best let's bring back something from the 70s and 80s and make it relevant again movie I've ever seen. This movie really, really touched me, made me laugh, made me smile, had a big dumb smile on my face throughout this whole movie. And it's just beautiful and brilliant, and it's everything I expected it to be. The Muppets is a perfect film, despite mild flaws, which is an oxymoron, but anyways. And I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 4. And that was my review of The Muppets. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'm Movie Kid Mike, making sure your time is worth your money.